Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Crowd Resilience TV. Today with my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Ryan Cole. Hey Ryan, it's so good to have you.
Thank you, Maria. Good to be here. Thank you. It's really great to be here. I mean, in Vienna, in Austria, just to be on the other side of the planet and just meet cool new people who are fighting for freedom.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we brought so many people to Austria to celebrate life and freedom and find new ideas for a better way, for a better world, because we know there are lots of challenges out there. And today we are not talking too much about the challenges that we know are out there, like in health reasons and economic reasons. I think it's so important that sometimes we just sit down and just let people know what motivates us, what inspires us. And so my question to all of my guests is, what makes you resilient?
That's a good question. What makes me resilient? I'm grateful for life. So many people are focused on things, and the more things you own, the more you are owned by things. And so for me, it's just the beauty of the opportunity to experience life. And that's what makes me resilient. Between digging in the dirt or feeding my lambs and my cows or pruning fruit trees or building boats or guitars or tables in my shop, just creating with the earth, creating art, creating poetry, creating feelings with other people. To me, just engaging in life and not worrying about the outcomes. Steering the things that I can change and not worrying about the things that I can't.
Absolutely, like the last sentence, we have the same in German, you know, it's a famous quote that we often use, and it's like, exactly, that's so much more important to focus on things we can change or we can create even more. And so the whole Better Way conference is about finding solutions. We can't say we have all the solutions for all the problems in the world. We know what's probably coming next, in a sense that we know there will be issues, health issues, big health issues with the COVID-19 injections. And we know around the world, even children got these injections. And I thank you for all your work that you are doing to bring clarity in this field and show what you have seen and tell people, please don't get another COVID-19 jab, and especially don't get your kids these injections. But so much more when we see what's going wrong. What would be your next step for us as human family? So not just for doctors, what should doctors do, what should scientists do? What would be your wish for human mankind to do in the next month and years to come?
Communicate. People have given up dialogue. People are too dedicated to a screen instead of the person in front of them. We've lost that art of communication, that art of sitting down like this or sitting down. You can't hate a person that you break bread with. So if you disagree with someone, instead of marginalizing them from a distance or becoming a keyboard warrior and attacking them, sit down with them face to face. Have a meal, have a conversation. You don't have to agree on everything. Most people won't. But you'll see the humanity in another person. And whatever powers have been behind these last couple of years, be it big businesses or governments or whatnot, their goal is to continue and maintain money and power. Great, they can have that, but they can't take away our humanity. And we can regain our humanity by not letting them divide us. And they've been very masterfully successful at that over the last 2.5 years. What we really need to do is sit down again and dialogue. And even if we don't agree, the art of dialogue, the sign of an educated person is to hold two disparate ideas in their mind at the same time and to ascribe to neither. So we don't have to even agree with someone, but if you listen, then it opens up your ability to learn. And we have to have the humility to communicate and the humility to listen and learn. And we've lost that in society. And I think it's very evident.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. I see the same. And I also think it's so important that we know that there are people out there who should really be, in court cases facing, what is out there, and then it will be what be. But I think it's so important that we also forgive like fellow colleagues that, you know, try to discredit us. And at the point, I always say that sometime in the next years to come, they will figure out, oh wow, we did a mistake by just following the narrative. And I said it on Ready Stage a month ago. I said, you know, there are doctors who do not talk nicely about me, but I say one day they will find out that they did a big mistake here. And, you know, that is a strong thing. That's a strong, heavy load to carry when they know they gave these injections to kids especially, and, you know, they need probably, you know, spiritual, strong people who can really help them out of this crisis so that is heavy enough, I think, if they find out one day. And so it's important that we forgive, even if they were discrediting us.
And I think they were under a pressure. Now I do quote Mark Twain, the man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Mm-hmm. So the challenge with our colleagues is they've bought into this mindset, safe and effective. It's what they've been told. But if they read what you and I read, or if they saw under the microscope what I see all day long, they would join us sooner. But I agree with you. They're still excellent physicians in practice, and they have so many skill sets. But they do need to just open their mind so they don't harm any more people. And we'll hopefully forgive them at some point. They are going to have to learn to forgive themselves, because being on the right side of history, I don't want to be right in all the things that I'm doing. I look under that microscope and what I see is really concerning, but I would be remiss if I did not report what I see. I have to tell the truth at all costs, and that's cost me almost everything to tell the truth. But I think you're right. I think someday they're going to come to us and say, oh, that's what you meant. So finding that space in our hearts is important. I do think some of the higher ups in governments and health agencies, I think they should be held very responsible.
Yes, absolutely. So, and talking about music, I'm very interested in what type and kind of music do you like? And I think you also know how to play an instrument, right? Which one is it?
I play the trumpet, and I played a lot of symphonic music growing up. Played in the Northern Virginia Youth Symphony, was principal trumpet. Played in a lot of groups over time. Almost majored in music. And then I went into the Air Force Academy in aeronautical engineering instead. I've always kept music up a little bit on the sides and have a very musical family. So we enjoy music in the home. It's peaceful. What kind of music? Depends on the mood.
Okay.
It depends on what mood I'm in.
Yes. So when you talk about your family, there's always this lovely smile in your face, and you were so nice and showed me a picture of your beautiful daughters and your beautiful wife. When I was seeing the picture, you couldn't figure out which one is the wife, you know, because she's so beautiful herself. And so what would be the core message that you would have for your beautiful daughters?
To be yourself and to stand up for what's right as well. It's interesting because even in our family, between the different age groups, there's been some conflict, or Dad, why are you speaking out so much? You know, we have the same last name still. And so they get the peer pressure because their peers don't understand. And obviously I share a lot of deep science and try to bring it to a level that people can understand. But I still tell them, look, it's better to be alone and right than to be in the group and wrong.
Absolutely.
And so just as a parent, just trying to get them to understand there will be lonely times in life, but you don't give up your principle to go with the crowd when the principle you're standing on is beyond reproach and without doubt.
Yes. So, and going one step further, so I'm pretty sure you will be a happy grandfather one day as well. And how would you describe to your grandchildren why you were doing what you were doing?
Because the most important thing on the planet Earth is to make it a better place for those who come after you. You don't plant a tree for yourself, you plant a tree for the next generation.
Absolutely, and there's this lovely saying, it's from Martin Luther, the yeah, the first Martin Luther. And it is like, I try to say it in German first. Und wenn ich wüsste, dass morgen die Welt in 1000 Stücke zerbreche, ich würde heute noch einen Baum pflanzen. Which means, if I knew that the world was going to just explode in 1000 pieces, still I would plant a tree today.
And there's a quote, kind of paraphrase the quote, I am a revolutionary, that my child may be a farmer, that their children may be poets.
Beautiful. Next one. First in German, then in English, okay. Alleine sind wir Töne, gemeinsam sind wir ein Lied. So that means, I hope I say it right, it's like Töne is when you play an instrument and you have like a note and you know you play after the notes, so it's like Töne is a note. So alone we are notes and together we are a song. That's also nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice.
So for the children, it's all of these things. And for the grandchildren. And we're fighting today, and I don't even like the word fight.
Yes,
we're struggling.
Yes.
Or we're standing up because we want, like as a father of daughters, I want my daughters to all be strong, independent women. Clear thinking, think for themselves. For the next generation, same thing. And I think having the opportunity to voice your opinion is critical, but also to always have the opportunity to question. That's how society has improved over the eons. And when we have forces that say you're not allowed to speak and you're not allowed to question, then you're no longer free. So really at the end of the day, this is about freedom for us right now, but for our children, but especially for our children's children.
Absolutely. Wow, so many wonderful words that you just said. I thank you so much, Ryan, for coming over and spending the time with us at this Better Way conference. And thank you so much again for all that you're doing, also for my son and for all the kids and people around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. So the next episode you will see next Friday, 8:15 Vienna time, CET. Join us again. Thank you.